welcome to another Sports Focus. I am your host, John McNeil, and over here we have Mr. McIntosh and Mr. Sybil's.
Yes.
The hell was both of you? Enough. It's amazing. The brothers that's supposed to be on your side, how quickly they turn.
I ain't turning.
First, we got to congratulate the Clemson Tigers.
Yay!
Yes. Surprising win, most people think. Some people.
I'm right there with you. But when you think about what happened, last year, and
it was a tight game last year.
Yeah, it was a tight, and they won it. So big up to them to beat the mighty Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. I was in unison on that one.
Okay,
that was
ready?
good.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Never mind.
You see, that's what they do to me. They messing with me. When they get an opening, that's when they attack like that, like them wild dogs in Africa.
What is it about hyenas?
No, wild dogs because they sneaky. They like to chase you down till you get tired and then they get you. That's what y'all is. Y'all see what's going on. Yeah. Let's keep it moving. Something interesting happened in college basketball, but on the women's side, there was a fisticuffs.
They were fighting?
They were fighting.
What school is this?
Utah and UNLV.
Ooh.
Now there's always a case of it. Look at this one. She's like shying the other way. She's like, I'm out of here.
Oh my God!
She's like, I'm back here with the good hair.
Hey, look at that swinging. Look at that arm. She's taking.
They actually went like put the hands up and was swinging and doing all that stuff.
That's right there. Look at it. The ref. Pow. The ref got messed up.
I didn't hear of any suspensions, but I'm sure there's some coming.
Man, that ref got hit because his knee was not needed.
Yeah, you see, he twisted all in, but that was very interesting. But hopefully they'll straighten it out.
Black girl got in the camera saying, "World Star."
That's probably she had her phone. She was like, "World Star, close up." Now let's move on to the NFL playoffs. We can.
The fun starts.
Okay, it's playoff time.
NFL playoffs as the shots keep coming my way. Wow.
He's got a World Star lot too.
Wow, this is crazy. These guys, they just keep coming at me with these little daggers and stuff. Let's get into these NFL playoffs. The wild card round. Let's start with the Lions and Seahawks. That was first of all these games were ugly.
Yeah.
And I think they said that this was the most lopsided ever.
Yeah.
So all the games, usually the games is pretty tight, but this weekend it was. But Lions, Seahawks, the Lions end up on a losing streak, 4 in a row.
Yep.
They lost in the beginning, they won in the middle, and they fell off at the end. But Jim Caldwell still has a job, and Seahawks, they came through. As you see the All-Pro there, Bobby Wagner. This was a game Saturday night. Oakland Texans. We all know that Oakland would have won this game if Derek Carr was there.
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yes.
So I'm not really feeling Houston too tough going forth. Sort of like the next game, the Dolphins and the Steelers, another
That was just a terrible revenge game.
Yes, it was.
Oh, yes, it was.
That was a revenge game. Seriously.
Matt Moore should have stayed out the game.
Mm-hmm.
He jumped back up and went in.
He took some good hits.
Yeah, I would have stayed on the ground.
Bud Dupree tagged him pretty good.
I would have pulled a cutler. I would have said my pinky hurt and would have went back in.
Did they charge him, Dupree?
I didn't hear any fines. He got rocked pretty good. Now, the big game supposedly of the day was supposed to be the Giants and the Packers, but this actually overshadowed the game because they went on a little boat trip with the fellas and what Trey is that Trey Songz over there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Trey Songz and whoever, a couple of
Justin
women
Bieber.
in the background, and they now that they lost, of course this is done blown up. You think it's fair to just because it was their day off?
Okay, but
They didn't leave the country. They was in Miami.
okay, well the same thing as Tony Romo and Mexico.
Well, he went to Mexico. I mean, I think that's different than I mean, what are you supposed to do? Is your day off or 2 days off? What are you supposed to just stay in your room and not do anything? Or
I don't know. I don't care. Do what you want to do.
It is like I said, the Tony Romo up, and Eli sort of said, well, if you're going to do this stuff, you better back it up. I think Eli is taking shots at Beckham. I wonder how this relationship is going to go.
Well, Reese already took a shot at Beckham too. He told him to grow up. The general manager.
Because it seems
that's because he threw a hissy fit after the game.
Yeah.
He's always throwing a freaking hissy fit.
Do you think Beckham is getting a lot of leeway? Because I remember the Giants was more of a stronghold organization and don't really tolerate things like that.
The biggest thing is that they can't say too much about because that is his time.
That's his time.
But the way they saying that they supposedly had trashed the airline flight and him and his tantrums on the end, they spoke to him about his one from the game before. I don't know what they're going to do with him.
They're going to do something with him.
He is a very talented receiver. He obviously has some problems. But Giants and Packers, as you saw the game, the Packers pretty much demolished them in the second half, which is and Mr. Hail Mary himself again.
Once again.
Before
the end of the half. Let me do it.
Let me why don't people just like send some pressure instead of, because these guys, the receivers, if they're that far away, they have to run a good 50 yards, but you're rushing 2 or 3. And look, it still didn't work. They still couldn't stop it.
You know, you saw what he did a couple times. He just jet in and jet back, then jet in and jet back. Give it time.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing about it was, you notice that nobody really jumped. So the ball just flopped right into his hands.
And then Cobb did the little Michael Irvin push, gave him a little push, and boom, right in his hands. That's embarrassing for the Giants. But they lost, and oh well. They are not moving to the divisional round, which is going to heat up. The number 1 seeds play in this round. So will a number 1 seed or a number 2 lose? We're going to find out right now. We're going to pick these games.
All right.
Seahawks at the Falcons. This is the Saturday, the 4:30 game.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Very interesting. And mind you, these are all rematches from the season. So the Seahawks won against the Falcons in a tight one. Call didn't go.
So when they play in Seattle?
It was in Seattle.
Atlanta.
Falcons?
I'm getting
Where they the number 2 seed?
I'm not sure.
Depending on what Seahawk teams show up?
Yeah. Because their defense usually try, but their offense sometimes it sputters so bad it just can't get out of the gate.
I'm very on the fence with this one.
I'm going to get Hoville bad.
I have my personal reasons why I would take the Seahawks, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks. Because if they play their game against the Falcons, I think they could win that game.
Yeah. They just need to slow down Mr. Julio.
Yeah, and if Matt
But they have the secondary to do it. That's the thing.
If Matt Ryan gets going, and
I take the Seahawks simply because of Matt Ryan and his playoff record.
You got a point. I'm taking the Seahawks. Just see. The snooze of the night of the whole
bye.
Tech.
Well, we got to remember, Houston's defense was ranked number 1. And with a number 1 defense, Osweiler did beat Brady in Denver.
But the game they played early, what was the score? 30-0? Basically got shut out.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Okay, let me ask y'all this, because I know everybody thinks the Patriots should win this game easy. Is there a shot?
Yes.
There's a shot.
Yeah, because they're going to take this game lightly.
The Patriots?
Yeah, they're going to take this. They're going to take this lightly because it's just like a bye week to them. Like
if Houston wins this game, is this one of the greatest upsets in playoff history?
I think so. Considering how they had the quarterback controversy, the defense is pretty solid, but the Houston offense is like,
That's shaky.
It's going to take a miracle for them.
It's going to take a miracle, but
it ain't like it can't be done.
Yeah, it can't be done.
It can't be done.
Jacksonville, Denver. That's an example. So
the one thing I'm looking at is that I'm saying that Belichick is not going to let that team take this game for granted.
yeah.
He's not going to let the team take it for granted. He's not that type of coach.
But the Patriots should win this game.
Should.
Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Interesting.
I'm gonna give it to the Chiefs.
Me
Give
too.
it to the Chiefs because you refuse to go with Pittsburgh.
No,
or?
I just think with their ball control and keeping Ben off the field, they have a good shot.
Yeah.
Their defense is pretty solid.
I think it'll be even more solid if Justin Houston plays. If he plays in that game and plays like he's 100%, then I like Kansas City in this game because they was off, and I think Tyreek Hill, I think he's gonna have a good game.
Yeah. It's still a big three. They're gonna do their thing, but I like Kansas City.
I'm on the fence. This is a fence game. It's a really serious fence game. It depends how Alex Smith play. If Alex Smith play up to par, you go. If he's able to elude, not get sacked, I can give it to Kansas City. But if Alex Smith have a bad game, throw a couple interceptions, will give Pittsburgh defense momentum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a real because this is the number 2 and the number 3 seed going against each other, so they're pretty even. And this is the rematch from that whooping that Pittsburgh put on Kansas City. So I'm sure Kansas City, it was like a 43-10 game, and so we'll see about that one. Now let's move to the game that everybody's talking about. All the Cowboys fans. Oh, that was a catch. Now we get payback. Yay! Do you see this as a payback game?
Who you gonna pay back? It was the referees that screwed it up, and the person who fumbled the ball that cost the game don't even play it anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I don't really see this as we gonna pay him back and for the playoff and all that.
This isn't a payback game.
They messed up the call. DeMarco fumbled the ball. No one talks about that.
Nope.
Now, X all that, and let's get into this game. Green Bay at Dallas. Week 6 they played. Dallas won 30-16.
Yeah,
different teams now because apparently, the Packers was off and Aaron was, I don't know what's going on. So I don't know. Dallas, they were still building what they have become. But the talk is, what is Dallas going to do with Aaron Rodgers? Blah, blah, blah. My question to you is, what is Green Bay going to do about Dallas?
They're going to have a problem with Dallas offense.
My biggest thing is this: Dallas love the ground game with ball control. But the worst thing about it is, what do you do with an offense that can score in 2 minutes? And you got to wind up coming up the field.
Yeah, like I was talking to somebody about that. When you look at Green Bay and they won these 7 games, right? Look at the schedule. Look who they played. Mm-hmm. Look who they played. They played the likes of Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit. The only team I would say that is known is Seattle. And Seattle's on this up and down thing anyway. So I'm not giving anything to the Packers because, we ran the table. He said we ran the table. Run the table against them, and then we going to see. I like the Cowboys.
That can also be said for the Cowboys.
They had a tough schedule going down the stretch. Yeah. They finished the season playing the Tampa. They almost made the playoffs.
But they would say
Detroit.
You cushion your record by playing those easier games in the beginning. So
wait a minute. They played them. They played Pittsburgh. They played Baltimore. They played all these teams. The Giants. They played them. They lost.
It's the same schedule. Actually, almost identical schedule that the Giants played. But they would say you cushioned it on certain teams that you had in the beginning, towards the end. But it's going to be an interesting game. I can't pick this one.
I can't really.
Dallas all the way. What the hell is going on here? Cowboys. I feel like they should beat them. They should just win this game. I ain't even going to say a score. Because I think the intensity level, Cowboys, Packers. And once you can't meet that intensity level, it is a wrap. And sort of like this show, it is a wrap. Folks, thank you for joining us. See you next week. Peace.